Hey, back again, done on the MySpace. Big up yourself, 95 for 65. Brockwide, we're inside the house. You get me? Episode
39.
39. Yeah, we started, bro. Don't worry, the mic ain't on you. No, I love people when do that. They go like, hold on, is it gonna do a countdown on that? We don't do no countdown, bro.
Oh wow.
We're not on. We're not. We just go in like straight away. It's not even no.
Is it 39?
30, I don't know. 39. It must be 39. Must be 39. Terry Walker was the last one, kind of thing. So it's like it's all working in. It's mad. I can't even. Yeah. I hold out the haters. Don't know the MySpace. Pick up yourself and pick up the people that have been subscribing, loving. We're here, and that. Go on with it. The green suits you. It brings out the.
Does, thank you.
It's a strange color. I've picked that for you.
Brings out my complexion, brings out my eyes.
You're gassed. You're so gassed. Hey, I've been looking forward to this one. We're diversifying now.
I think all of our guests have been diversified.
No, 100%.
It's been such a range. Like, if you're going to talk about skin tone, then but just diversity of the range of guests.
Yeah. We've learned so much. It's mad. Like, we're learning.
Profession, their personality, like everything.
No, 100%. I don't know how do we introduce you now?
I hardly fit into any type of box either. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm
not ticking it.
box.
You know what? It's not now. Let me start off like because I've met you on a few occasions, but every time I've met you, his positivity has been. His spirit and positivity always just amazing. I said I have to get him on the pod.
Bro, that's because I spend so much time at home, like, you know, like.
Yeah, I don't know what you do.
Exercising with my demons and that, you know what I mean? So
no, it's mad.
Fight them all off so I can grab with a smile.
But the kind of but I've never. It's very. You don't meet people like yourself, innit? That are very just down to earth.
Because you meet me in my element. When I go out, I'm around the music.
Yeah.
And all that. These are the things that make me happy in life.
And that's the thing. He's the only guy I see on the dance floor. Even though his moves are a bit mad, their moves mad.
Yeah.
But he just does it. He just goes with it, and I'm like,
but I love that. Just free.
Yeah, man, I love it.
I'm not like that with my arm, more with my legs and my arms. Like.
Yeah, so it's mad. But I just had to. And then we had we've had a few conversations, especially over voice note and over the phone and that. And I'm just intrigued when he speaks. Like, I can actually, not many people can shut me up. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And like, I can chat.
He's like wisdom.
Yeah, unreal. It's like a download thing. You get me? There's one time we were speaking on
I'm a geek. I'm always learning something.
Mad. So imagine I was on the last time we spoke, we were on the phone and I was doing wallpapering.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I couldn't concentrate on the wallpaper and I wanted to focus solely on what you were saying. But you would never know that. I was literally just sitting there like, just intrigued by what he was saying and taking it in. Because usually when you're doing work, you can just get on with things. I said, no, actually gonna take in what he was saying.
Full attention.
And I was like, I met guys like this in my life for a long time. That is just literally just pow of knowledge. And I'm thinking, is he chatting dude? No, none of it is chatting dude. It's literally. And I said, if you could be. And we spoke, and we're gonna obviously go forward with it. But if you could, and he's the one that was doing the 120 press ups. Oh, okay. So that's why I started doing it. So in the holiday, everybody got it, bro. Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody got it. No, you ain't seen the clips yet. Trust me. Okay. Everybody got it, bro. Like, get down now, and we're all doing it. People on the beach. I've got people doing the most.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, mad. But we won't go into that yet. We've got. So if you had what's your best known as? You don't have to give your government, but. Like, what's your best way of you being known, like your name? Like, what name do you like?
I mean, my name is Patter. Yeah.
What?
Patter. Patter is like the Gaelic of Peter. I'm an Irishman, you know, from West Belfast.
Patter.
Patter. Yeah. Or Patter.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Patter.
Yeah. You can pronounce it with like the D or the T in the middle. So like Patter.
Like a little
well, it's more related to Peter.
Okay.
Like it's
so PADR.
Yeah.
That.
But people call me Snuff. Everyone knows me as Snuff. That's
why Snuff though? Where the Snuff come? The Snuff One. I got the Snuff One though.
Yeah. Snuff One. Originally, because like the term mean like to be like punching someone out, you know. So I took it when I was doing DJ battle stuff, because you know, like it was all soundboy.
Okay. I thought it was an MAA kind of person. You get me? I was like, well, okay. I need this guy in my life. You get me?
That was more of a battle thing. I got the MMA people around me though, but nah. And I've learned more recently as well in Shona, snuff is like, the tobacco, smelling tobacco, and it's also kind of like a plant medicine to connect with the spirits and that. So I kind of like that connotation too.
Well, it does have a, like, you kind of feel like it's something to do with drugs when you hear, because snuff, sniff.
Yeah.
That's mad. So
obviously, I don't deal with no drugs. So
that name's just stuck. So all right, so you're Irish. By what, blood straight through, or you half Irish, or you?
I'm fully Irish. That's what I mean. I'm born and raised in West Belfast.
Is it?
Yeah, I come up through the troubles.
What was it saying though? So what was it like? What was it really like though? Because some people talk. You see it on internet and that, but what is it really like?
I mean, that's a series of podcasts right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But if you have to,
I'm from the Falls Road, which is West Belfast. So if you can imagine, like our area was partitioned by a so-called peace wall from the neighbours down the Shanklin and all that. So it's like east and west is separated through sectarian lines. Looking in externally, like a lot of people hear about the Catholic Protestant divide, this, that, and the next. But
what side were you on? That's
what I'm saying. I was raised a Catholic, but it's a more lip service. You know what I mean? We're not really down with it, like to be honest. So I don't identify as a Catholic, and I put the fire on the Catholic Church, on the Vatican, like fully. You know what I mean? Because it's just evil enterprise. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, not deal with no Catholic Church, but I do consider myself an Irish Republican in regards to wanting to see an independent island or home rule, like the land for us. You know what I'm saying? And the people that we were kind of having the conflict with, or what you might more see as like the colonialist settlers who identified more as British. So like there's more Union Jacks in Northern Ireland than there is over here. It's mad, for real. And the way I would describe like the sort of like loyalist attitude towards us is kind of like how like Combat 18 and that would move BMP, EDL style vibes. You know what I mean? So you got the British soldiers patrolling our areas, because by the time I was born, we were all already kind of like burnt out and ghettoized into one particular type of hood. You know what I mean?
But how can they identify? How do they identify what a paddy, or you know what I mean, to Irish to
like an invisible line, like an invisible border?
It's not invisible. There's a wall. There's a literal wall. The wall actually used to be going across my playground, and the people threw petrol bombs into our playground. It was kind of mad. It was mad like it was mad. It was mad like Gaza. Like a Palestine situation. It was conflict. It was military. It was curfew, helicopters, roadblocks.
And media wasn't as rife as it was now, so we wouldn't see it.
Well, the media was always portraying us as the so-called,
the ones that are doing it.
And all that, you know what I mean? Yeah, for real. And part of that is propaganda, really, to take away a lot of the freedoms of the people here in England and that anyway, because if they can make you afraid of a bogeyman, they can start to take the money out for your security. They're limiting your freedom of movement through this idea of a bogeyman. So even like a lot of the paramilitary groups in West Belfast, like people would know about the IRA, but there's quite a few. And then there's a lot of paramilitary groups on the loyalist side, the UDA, UVF, LVF, all these people, which are basically the British Army, and all the local hoodlums. You know what I mean? Like people could take off the uniform, put on a balaclava type flex. Even on the Republican side, a lot of it was kind of infiltrated and being run by British intelligence. So a lot of the shit stirring, and a lot of what you might see over here on the mainland. The bogeyman stuff about Irish terrorism and all that, was really just inside job shit.
Smart.
You know what I mean? Smart. Because it's a military-industrial complex. The shit stirring is above everything. This is what I've come to realize. Because what got me out of all that bullshit was hip hop. To be real, you know what I mean. I joined. I linked up with a bunch of b-boys when I was like.
What you could do the.
When I was 14, that's what I was getting down with. Yeah, I was into breaking.
What you could do the breaking, yeah.
Back then, I wasn't that great. That's why I got into DJing. I wasn't that great because my crew.
Go on, Pat, spin on your head. Spin on your head. Do you get me? I don't know. I'm trying. I'm kind of mad. I'll say it. It says spin on your head. Spin on your head.
Yeah.
Swear.
Yeah, and my crew were all nearly like a decade older than me. They're like original generation hip hop heads, you know what I mean, from the 80s and that, you know what I mean. So yeah, it was like the early 90s, I got into breaking with and we were like from cross community, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We went into all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard not to be involved, you know what I mean?
Because it's there,
Like,
right?
honestly,
Let's say it's going in the
14, my house
playgrounds.
has been burnt down the second time. So at
Pardon?
14, my house has been burnt down for the second time from the ends that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through petrol bombs or just madness, you know what I mean? Because I'm on the border of a flashpoint.
But you weren't inside there or nothing like that.
No, not at this time,
Your
no.
house was literally not necessarily a personal target, but it was just the
Flashpoint.
location of
Yeah.
where it was.
Yeah.
So you know about starting again and the just starting again.
Yeah, man, constantly, every day when we wake up, it's a new step.
Starting again, fam. That's powerful.
But I'm saying like the b-boy thing though, like we were from both sides of the division, and we kind of like were just looking at it as like rising above it all, you know what I mean? Because it's all a lot of bullshit the way we're looking at it, you know what I mean? We're all getting caught up in the crossfire. As children, you don't really know what's going on, which is one of the reasons I kind of like do a lot of not work, but like with the hip hop, I go to a lot of places and do dance events and so on in places of conflict, you know, because I know like the children need something to, you know, a bit of good vibe in their life,
100%.
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, so anything to increase the spirit in that, you know.
What was your schooling like then? What was it like in school? What did you do well in school?
I think I was pretty dope in primary school, yeah. But then when I went to secondary school, I was only there for like the first 2 years, and then that was it. It was me done with school.
What do you mean? You just walked out? That's it?
No, well, after my house got burnt down,
everything just went left, right.
I kind of went on a bit of a madness. Yeah, I went on a bit of a mad. Just me on my own. I left home. I was out on my own from 14. So
what? Swear down. Your parents didn't come and get you?
Huh?
Your parents didn't come and get you and say, hold on, get back in the house? Or you just said that was...
Well, I'd got two older sisters, and my sister, one of my older sisters was more like being like a parent to me, like, than anything else. And after about a year, I kind of like settled back with my sister for a bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mad. So from 14, you know,
Yeah.
14.
But yeah, so
that's kind of normal for a lot of people, you know. So I see a lot. Well, not maybe not super normal, but I meet a lot of people that are like, you know, like from key latch kid, you know, to just people who left home from young, you know what I mean? So
no, we know a lot of key latch kids.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah, man. No, that's a powerful.
Because it reminds me of, you see, like when I say like postcode wars.
yeah,
It's cack, like really, and a lot of these young kids that are growing up and trying to rep for their postcode, but really to break it all down, it's wholly for rubbish. Like you could literally have a best friend on that next road, and you're getting caught up in.
But that's the thing, the propaganda behind it. If they remove that, then there's some the layers. Then we get to the core of what's going on. But because they've just painted it as a postcode war, so
they found common interests with like the music and what have you, and said forget about all that other stuff.
Yeah.
That's hard though. You know when you're looking, you got people you're looking up to. You kind of want to.
Like your elders.
Yeah, you know you want to say, it's very. You can go either way in it. You can either go against it or get involved in it, and it could have been both ways now. Or you literally it wasn't for you. It was how did you not get caught up in it? Because
it's not. Cause it's not like some hood gangster shit. It's like defending your home and family. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can't not be involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then from the other perspective as well, there's a different type of indoctrination. So people are looking at it from the same perspective in regards to defending themselves. Neither side is going to see themselves as the aggressor, really. You know what I mean? Because there's a shit stirring above it. It's psychological. It's mad. You know, and it really is closely related to like the post-Cold War type thing you talk about here. Because sectarian violence is an orchestrated situation, like really.
So
it's cultivated.
So they can't. So that could we say that we do say like we can do more, parents can do more, community can do more, and but ultimately, from what you're saying, literally, it is all orchestrated and. But then there's the thing of choice as well, because you've chosen not to go down that route and cause commotion. I don't know if he did. He might have bust shots and guns. I don't know. You know that he's gonna come out and sit next to me now. Yeah, 14 had a gun and that. But you chose not to. But there's a thing of personal choice as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and power of the mind. But if they've already kind of corrupted your way of thinking, like from a young age growing up, so it's only so much like parents or school or whatever
can do.
You know what's mad? Like, I think I remember the time around about the peace process and all that, you know, because I mean there was time when it was tit for tat murders, you know, for example, like because you know your area is Republican, that area is Loyalist. You could order a taxi from one area or a pizza from one area, and as soon as it arrived, they're getting shot on the doorstep, and that was happening on a daily basis, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And because someone's shot, there's a whole domino effect of emotional outrage and hurt and pain and suffering, and people want retaliation. You know, so it's just a cycle. Literally. And the thing that kind of like brought it to a bit of a standstill is just when a lot of the mothers come together. And they're all like saying, like, please let our child be the last. You know, we don't want anyone else to feel this pain. You know, and it's really real. And I felt the same way. I'm feeling like this is not going to end unless like unless we try to get on and like you know, change situations. I mean,
because the differences aren't really a difference. If you know what I mean, like it's not like a detriment to your day-to-day life. Like we're all gonna have differences.
Yeah, but there's I'm glad you put on the point of the mums, because I've done a thing called the Circle of Life where bereaved mums over a space of 6 weeks will come and talk speak their story, and it was heart-wrenching to hear of mothers that have lost their sons, because there's not actually a name for it. I've realised usually you have orphan, you have widow. But for losing a child, there's not actually a name for it. Funny enough, so even if even though the mums have done, they've said what they said, I'm still having situations where I've got one mum who's gonna come on the pod where her son was stabbed, and she still has to relive it every day because now she has to move the grave of the son because the perpetrators are vandalizing the grave. So I'm like, how far do you have to? So when I'm saying like it's so far, like even when you're hearing you're coming together, like people are so devilish in their ways now. They're making songs now, fresh songs out on YouTube, saying his name live. Just literally we have him. You should have had an open casket. I've done what I need to do. Well, like I'm congratulating themselves for it. But the graveside thing where she has to uplift her son from this graveside now and then put him somewhere else is just mad. It's like, how far has that mind gone where we can say, you know what? Because now she's in her head as a mum. I'm thinking as a father, that can't run, innit? That something has to go down.
No, it's really horrible.
And you know what I'm saying? So that I hear the tick for tat, but we've got to come together. It's like, you've kicked over my great son's grave, and I've got to try and relax, stop my mind for the 7th time.
That's the situation.
It's not like one time; it's 7 times they've done it, and it's like the world in itself is just literally keeps turning, and the world elite keep doing what they're doing, and it's just everything's just orchestrated to the point of where, like I said, the Monday we just had, I felt everybody's energy was just like on 110 of just too much is going on in the world, and it was crazy. It was actually crazy.
Too much going on within their world.
Yeah, their world. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, this is not good. But I loved your when we spoke about your philosophies in terms of how we can start helping ourselves as people, start taking small steps. Especially with the 120 press-ups. Like, we can get into that now. 120 press-ups a day. The way you broke it down, it made it understandable that anybody can do it. And we can actually, by doing something small, we can make it can get bigger and bigger. I can see where it can go.
Yeah, ripple effect.
And when you broke it down, like the 120, I was like, bro, 120 a day. Like, but he's like, no, you don't have to. You don't have to do it. But this is the benefits of the, like, yeah, can you explain it? The 100, what's the benefit?
Do you know what? Even just to segue from what you were saying,
yeah, sorry.
Like, there's this culture of like bigotry and shit stirring that's grooming the youth like to be mad, and it's related environmentally and also connected to like even the diet and shit. You know what I mean? And the diet is like everything that we're consuming, from the TV to the media, to like
everything.
To the food, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah. So and some people like the fellow you're talking about going on a madness and being super vindictive and malicious. Some people do need to be dealt with, you know what I mean? So if you're having a conversation about moving on, like that's a wider conversation.
Yeah.
But sometimes individuals, we need to find a way to deal with these individuals, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm not advocating to take someone out, but like there needs to be some sort of correctional situation.
There is a guy in America. Sorry to cut. There's a guy in America at the moment. We were discussing because I was talking about these absent fathers that ain't doing that to some guy today, and we were just going back and forth. And he said like, there's a man in America that actually dresses up in a cape uniform, and then goes and gets these men, and beats them up. Takes a photo of them and gives it to the baby mums. I was like, that's mad. To get me, I said, we could just do that, like over here.
What's that gonna do?
I don't know. I just thought about it. I just thought
like,
that in there.
that's gonna make his angst against the baby mum even more.
I don't know. But it's just a superhero. I don't know.
I mean, come to speak of it, actually, we used to get a really bad stigma in the Northern Ireland because of what you'd be called the punishment beatings. You hear about the punishment beatings?
Mm-mm.
You know, well, you see, you got like the IRA and you got the provisional IRA. So the provos would be doing a lot of the punishment beatings. Say like someone's come robbed your yard, or they've stolen your car, or they've done something. First they'd have a wee visit, like a word, and then the next time it might be like bullets through the kneecaps. Okay. You know what I mean? And if they're doing something like selling heroin to children, it might be like straight up like spears through all their joints, and you gotta go, you know?
Yeah.
And it seems really brutal, but we don't have problem with heroin and that. You know, like honestly, like when I first come to London and I see the way like the gang violence was, I thought like this would never go down in Belfast, like because
they nip it in the bud.
Yeah, because a lot of it is like this fake gangster shit that's being played out and becoming real gangster shit.
100%.
You know, and because people are what's the word, like you know, that aspirational thing to be this thing, it's becoming a real thing. You know, but yeah, that definitely want to run. And now, I mean, I'm not saying that's even a good idea to go down that path anyway, because all them paramilitary groups are all just gangsters now. You know, drug running.
On top of that as well.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So it's definitely a difficult thing. Like for me, that's why I kind of move my direction more towards things that pull people out of that and into more, you know, positive activities. You know what I'm saying? So like with the music and the dance and the art and whatever that someone might find interest, like in like theater or crafts or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bring out their creative side.
Yeah, you know, like because when I do occasional bits and bobs of youth work, I know that the main objective that we try to do with getting all youth them together is for them to be happy, you know, no matter what. Because like sometimes you'll see somebody having a problem with another child, and they're talking about the problem, and you could like exasperate the problem by talking about the problem and trying to solve the problem, when you realize there's no problem. They just don't feel involved, they don't feel respected, they don't feel this, that and the next. So change the environment and the situation so that they all feel happy, and then you realize there was never a problem. So I'm looking at that as that micro management of that situation, like that. So like, you know, a wider societal thing, and saying let's try to push out more good vibes into the world, you know what I mean, and try to pull people into that. And as well, get away from the whole idea of like you'll need to be this, you know, mystery person that everyone's trying to be.
Yeah, I called it the Phantom Man.
The Phantom Man,
the Phantom.
Yeah, like so just try to celebrate more individual brilliance. You know what I mean? Let people know it's all right to be like, you know, yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what I loved about the hip hop. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, before hip hop became kind of something you could just like fashion yourself up in, you know, we all had to come with, you know, we weren't allowed to bite, you know, everyone had to have your own style, your own everything. You know what I mean? You had to come really fresh, like fresh, you know,
like the 5 watches, you know, the swatches, the 5 watches on the wrist and that, you get me, for no reason.
Exactly though, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to come with something different, like, you know, and artistically as well, like, you know, so yeah. And to take it back to like the whole push-ups thing, it's like obviously I've gone more now down this nutrition path, you know. I got myself certified as a nutritionist and a herbalist and a calisthenics coach.
Come on now, certification.
Yeah. So I'm setting up my little health brand and all that, you know what I mean. But because what I understand though about like how the diet is attacking the people, like society, like sugar is really, really killing people. Like I used to think about how do we talk about all these and resolve all these situations, but it's so hard because you need more of an antidote for people to deal with all the anxiety and stress and stuff before you can even have a conversation about resolutions. This, that, and the next,
that's a good point.
Yeah, because people are just like wired out, you know, and then like you want to go get some sort of professional help, they're just going to put you on next type of drugs.
Kind of,
and that's it doesn't really help.
If you can get a doctor or professional help.
It's levels of sedation, but it's not really helping.
Yeah, we don't go doctors.
But sugar is very, very addictive.
Sugar is more addictive than cocaine, like, you know, like and it's more dangerous actually, you know, because it attacks, like, you know, like the measurement for it is the AC1 count, which is like the glycation of the blood cells, you know. But the red blood cells, the heme is a pigment. So you think about all of the pigment in the body. You know, you're talking about your neuromelanin, or the pigment in your eye. You know, so everything that you're talking about to do with like communication. You know, like just being able to think straight. Yeah. You know, if that's all being glycated, then you're going to be wired up. You know, and you're releasing opioid system. Like, so you're kind of like taxing your own endorphins a lot. So that you're always like looking for that next hit, and you'll never really just feel calm on your own vibe, you know.
Imagine, see, that's why I had to stop doing the wallpapering. You see it, man, to stop, you know. Do you get me? I was like, hold on, what's he talking about? Allow it, I'm gonna stop everything. You get me, guys? Everybody, shush, close the windows. I was like,
that's why, like, we have like a can of fizzy, and it's like you just feel like you need another can. Or I have a bar of chocolate, and I feel like, oh, I want another bar of chocolate. It's like,
talk for yourself. That's you. That's you. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but the thing about the push-ups, like, because like inside the body, you know, we produce everything that we're stimulating. You know, like we get a lot of stuff externally. You know, like whether it's like someone's doing a line of powder or just having like sugary food, this, that, and the next. We're giving ourselves a kind of like an opioid release. You know, even with the ganja, you know, relying on the cannabinoids, you know, like everyone hears about endocannabinoid system, you know, which is like your body produces its own cannabinoids, right? But if we're always just smoking the ganja, we're basically supplementing for what we can produce ourselves. So the body is like saying like, oh, we don't need to produce none of this because it's going to be provided. Okay,
and that can be with most sugar, all these kind of things.
Everything, like, you know, even with the diet. Like if you eat like a lot of meat all day, you know, you're going to be getting the creatine, which is like helping you with energy, but your body can produce that itself. But then if you go without like eating that diet, you're going to feel really, really weak. You know what I mean? Because your body's not producing it no more.
Okay, because it's relying on the meat.
So then what, you have to like wean yourself, or like slowly start cutting it out bit by bit. So would your body then start producing it? Yeah,
well, the kickstart this is why I'm getting into the push-ups, because the push-ups is really the kickstart. Okay. You know, because when you push in that, they call it hormesis. It's reverse inertia. You know, you put reverse inertia.
Managed to get a book.
Inertia is like pressure. So you're putting that pressure on the inside.
Okay.
You know, and that's creating flow. It's moving your lymphatic system. It's burning off the sugar. You know, and it's also starting to produce growth and repair hormones, you know what I mean? And also it's starting to trigger your own endorphins. You release endorphins. You know, you hear about the jogger's high. You know, it's the same like with doing a workout. It's going to improve your mood. You know, and if you keep doing this regularly, you're going to find your base level mood improve. You know, because like you see like heroin addicts and that, like fully itchy. Like that itch, it seems like a phantom itch. But it's not really a phantom itch because like it feels like you're crawling in something, right? Okay. But you really are crawling in something. We're crawling in germs. We're crawling in bacteria. Like we literally are.
Right.
You know?
So what's making them so sensitive?
That's what I'm saying. That because they're addicted to that high or that opioid release, the body's not producing its own base level of opioids. So you're starting to feel hypersensitive to shit.
Oh, right.
So you're just like extra. But your body should naturally be producing everything to make you feel calm and satiated. You know. And this is the problem. Like from child. Like we were just being pummelled with sugar to the point everyone's coming up with like nervous disorders by the time we're adult, you know, and then we're all addicted to something.
Half of it is just because of the diet.
Yeah, and the environmental traumas, you know. So if they're keeping us in a state of stress and pumping us full of this crap in the diet, it's a bit of a lose-lose situation for moving forward. Especially if you want to try to develop your soul, like, you know, your spirit, you need to get yourself into a place where. A bit of serenity in that, Yeah.
So you see, like the push-ups. Is there other exercises other than that?
Why do you want to switch the thing? Why do you have to change it? You always have to change it.
What if I want to do push-ups? What
But
if I
you
wanna
do good.
sit-ups?
You're good at push-ups though.
I don't think so.
Okay.
What if I want to do sit-ups or squats?
Everything is good. Fundamentally, moving the body is what's important.
So
you know,
even just like a long walk.
a long walk is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like I deal with calisthenics, like which is, I promote more than weight exercise. You know, because weight exercise you can be doing too much pushing on just building muscle. You know, but there's no point in building muscle if you're not building strong tendons and fascia and bone. You know, I mean, it's like having massive speakers with a tiny amp. You know, what I mean? Ain't doing nothing. It's just for show. You know what I mean? And plus, you don't have, you know, there's inside the cells we have what's called mitochondria, which produce
like
energy.
Now, you know, the big speakers with little amp. Mate, that's yeah. Look at you with no amp, bro. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, amp-looking people. I love that. Now I'm gonna cuss out Bear Man. Them stupid amp.
Yo, and the amp in that scenario would be the mitochondria, which are the little powerhouses in the cells. So when you're building muscle like that, you're not really building mitochondria. You know. So those cells are not really going to last. Like, so you're going to lose that muscle. If you stop working out, that muscle is going to disappear. You're going to deflate quick. You know, it's not going to last. But if you're doing just body weight exercise, it's all going to couple in a way where it's going to be long lasting, and you'll be able to live with it. You'll have a, you know, slim, slender, working body. Like, you know.
It makes sense then. That's like over the 120 days you're saying, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the reason I say 120 days is because that's how long generally it takes for the blood to renew, you know, because it's generally a 120-day cycle, you know, which is about 3 months. So and all of the blood is being
pumped
built in the bloodstream, but also primarily from the bone. Like the bone marrow is what produces all stem cell differentiation, you know. So all the stem cells are coming out of the bone, and basically being sent to build whatever else is needed in the body. You know what I mean? So whatever you want to do, you want to nourish your bones, and movement, because the bones is like a crystal. You know, it's a crystal ladder structure. You know, so when you move these crystal structures, the bones, it creates a charge. You know, because of the friction. It's called piezoelectricity. Piezoelectricity is the creation of charge through friction. You know, so when you're moving your bone, you're making charge, and through that charge you're creating growth. You know, so that's why it's really important to move your body.
So I can't just take cod liver oil.
No, this is what got me into calisthenics, because of my study. I was all about herbs originally. I got into herbalism originally. You know, I was like one of the Sebeites, you know what I'm saying? But I've come to realize, like, your diet don't mean nothing if you don't move your body, and in fact movement of your body should take primary focus over your diet, you know. Like your diet could be weaponized against you if you have a really extensive workout regimen, you know. But working out is still going to be more important than like sitting on your ass just eating sea moss and herbs. Ain't gonna do nothing for nobody.
Nah, man. So that's why I was on the holiday. So after you said all that, yeah, that's why you see me on the holiday moving mad. And I say I was moving. I ain't even showed you the footage. I ain't even sent you everything. But I was on everybody. Everybody caught it. The daughters caught it. The little, even Sky was doing her little. I don't know what you call them. I don't know what you call, but she was moving.
No,
do you get what I'm saying?
The more I break it down, the more I hope to inspire people about it, because especially in relation to depression, anxiety, and nervous disorders and this type of stuff. Because in general health, you know, you could talk about like hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. Doing your push-ups daily is going to be a bulletproof defense against all of that long term, you know. But like primarily, like I think everyone is going to want a bit of help and support with dealing with depression and anxiety. You know what I mean? Especially living in the type of lives that we're living, you know? So, yeah.
Because it's coming from the north, east, south and west.
Yeah. People are...
active and keeping fit and having a clear mind will help you handle and deal with whatever.
And that's what I was saying. Literally, by even you just having us to talk, I was able to... I've had people that were following me now, and I'm saying... I always say, just keep moving. Like, be active. Keep moving. No matter what's going on in your life, keep active. Keep moving. Go for a long walk. Go next to a river. Just don't don't stop, because that once you do stop, I think that's when everything just starts to just pile up on you.
Then you start.
Remember, people saying, "Oh, my shoulders are hurting me. My shoulders are hurting," but you know that's you're taking on too much stress, too much on yourself. And I realized my back. Remember, I said my lower back, because I'm taking on all the work and not thinking. Let me delegate it out all the time and doing too much. And it's just, we just don't listen.
Our bodies speak, like
literally speak. So I'm literally listening to the body now. I listened to what Snuff was saying. I was like, you know what? Nah. See, this holiday, it's on. It's on.
You see, like if someone, like to say Terrence Max, goes to I don't know, I've got a pain in my knee. Would you be able to identify, like if he gave a little bit of a backstory of, you know, what he's been doing? And
I'll make assumptions. I would always say go see your doctor and get a diagnosis, you know. Like, yeah, for real. Like, you need to get a proper diagnosis for whatever you're going through.
So what did you study then? Hold on, you said you studied like...
he's not a doctor.
No, I'm not a doctor, no. I'm a nutritionist and health coach, if I can take any type of title, you know what I mean? So, yeah, nutritional advisor, health coach. But I can't advise you on your nutrition if I don't have a diagnosis from a
so once you get that, you can say, all right, cool, based off this.
Because I'm not going to be doing your blood work, you know what I mean? You show me your blood work.
It's good to see your blood work, isn't it?
Yeah, because you don't want to just do DIY diagnosis off the internet and all that, say, because you got a sore knee. You could be a bunch of things.
I always say, like my knee, like at night time, I'm like, I've got water on my knee, or growing pain.
I mean, there's base level things that you could say, like water retention and all that. You might want to get more potassium in your diet, you know. So like, I'm a big advocate for algae, you know, seaweed, you know.
What's that? The thing that in Chinese you can get
sushi,
as a starter.
No,
well,
they use it in sushi. No, I don't mean the fish, sushi, but you know the seaweed. They use seaweed in sushi. Yeah. But I just mean seaweed in general.
See, I like sushi.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around it.
Like once a week, like not too much, but yeah.
I'm plant-based myself, but but
what you eat? What do you mean plant-based?
Actually, I say herbivore because I hate the word vegan.
Yeah,
because I don't eat fake food, and vegans eat fake food. You know, all this processed stuff, and I think that's actually.
Did you hear that?
No, you can't live on that. You can't live on that. It's empty.
Shots fired.
Yeah, made up
those shots need to be fired. Like for real, people are.
It's not true because the way they carry on about this veganism, like it's actually.
But you know what it is? The people are trying to change the way they're eating. They're trying to change their habits.
But then look at what you're actually eating now as an alternative. 100.
My argument is I don't like the meat versus veg argument. I like the real versus synthetic food argument. You know, and as well, like no matter what you're sourcing, like because you could have the same conversation with a herbivore as a carnivore. Yeah. Like is that animal, is it like tortured, stressed, pumped up with shit? Are you eating all of that? Are you basically eating some terrorized junkie? Yeah. That's been helped and stuck in solitary confinement.
Oh my days.
But it's the same with the veg.
What's for dinner tonight?
Nothing. We're actually having nothing. Water and crackers. If you're on come down with me now, yeah.
I bet someone will say something about crackers.
Yo, I would kill it.
No, if you're on, so you come down with me, yeah.
Right, boom.
Right, so come down with me. You gotta cook based off what you're used. You can cook. You can cook in it.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Alright, so boom.
Do plant-based people cook things? Like, what do you need to cook?
You're still gonna bring something on the dish. No matter what, you're still gonna prep it and put it presentation. Alright, so starter. You're starter now.
Starter. Boy, I don't know. Soup. Salad, hummus. Whole lot. I don't know, man. I'm not good with the starters.
Alright, cool. So soup. Let's say soup. What soup though?
I'd maybe make a pumpkin soup with like ginger and chili, like some veg.
Alright, that's
coconut milk.
Would you have a bread on the side?
I can put some bread on the side, yeah.
Alright,
It'll be like a good wheaten Harlem grain style.
Alright, then you gotta do the dessert because they cook the dessert and then they do the main, innit? On come down with me.
I like to use the mushrooms as well a lot. You know, see the oyster mushrooms when you put them in the oven, you can make them taste all sorts of different way. You know, so like
it's like an alternative to meat. They say, innit?
So I love mushrooms.
Well, you could say meat is it's its own thing. You know, I don't really go down an alternative to anything route. You know, mushrooms are good on their own merit. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I can't. I love a mushroom. All right, so your main.
Yeah, like I'm saying, maybe like a some type of quinoa stir fry vibe, you know, with like I would oven roast all of the maybe like some pumpkin with oyster mushrooms, courgettes, bell peppers, all that stuff. I'd have my seasoning game is crazy, you know what I mean? So I got all my own herbs from the garden, you know. So
go on.
yeah, definitely season everything up nice and spicy, yeah, sun-dried tomatoes. Put even like some probably even like some walnuts in the mix. Like I'll make things work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come. What about dessert? What about dessert now?
Dessert. I could make chocolate fudge.
Yeah.
I can make
And
chocolate.
it'll probably like taste like chocolate.
Oh, it'd be
fudge.
banging. Yeah, I can make it.
Yeah.
I can make it with coconut milk. I can make it
Yeah,
with
you're going
raspberry.
You know the
I can make it with.
yeah.
I can make it with a lot of berries.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
berries,
man's going in the
dates,
door, and we're gonna go. You're gonna do this.
dates, berries. Come on.
I'm
So you need to
kidnapping
go
my
on,
guy.
Farmers market.
I don't
Where do
care.
you need to go for most of those ingredients?
Yeah, farmers markets are good. You know, I'm living in a housing cooperative. You know, so like there's a bunch of us living together, so we can grow a bit of food. I'll even go out and do a bit of foraging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Swear down,
but-
you go out there in the yeah, that love all that, you know. You're not foraging, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't. You know, man. No, I don't know because you do. You know what? This
Put
is,
some
I'm gonna
respect
tell
on
people
my
about this. The
name.
violence that you.
And as well, living in the city as well, like it's not easy to always go and find
Yeah.
the prime
Yeah.
stuff. So you got to work with what you work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll just go and get like
take
best
the drive up to
decent
Surrey.
quality veg and stuff that I can find. You know what I mean?
Well, man, cause
but I like
that's
the
it.
sound of
Come
that
down
as
with
well.
me and that. No one's eating. You know, you ain't winning that though. You ain't
Never
winning.
know. You never
Nah,
know.
you ain't winning. Yeah. Alright, so you're the music now, the hip hop, because I'm you've got a very diverse. Because you said hip hop, but I know it's evolved over time, innit?
Yeah.
So you can go into the ska, the dub, the reggae, the
there's an
R&B.
appreciation
Yeah,
for
you got
sound.
appreciation just for sound in that sense. What you use that as a, because I can see the vibrations when he does his DJ and all that. You can just see you just go into a trance, and it's like, yeah. What does it do for you? What is music? What does music actually do for you? Like,
Mate, that's my happy space. But you know, music on a deep level, you know, your body's made of water, so vibration affects water. You know, if you want to talk about, people talk about structured water with their machines and stuff. That's not really a way to make a structured water. Water is like vibrational. You know, like that's why people meditate. This sound, you know. So yeah, music is you feel emotions from music, right? You put on music, it makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I almost feel like a conductor as a DJ. I can massage the room. Like,
yeah,
you know?
see it. You don't need to touch
can
the button.
excite
mate.
the room.
I feel it. No, I'm like that. I just love the way it's. Cause I think I don't. People take for granted the music, you know, because I'm the kind of person that listens right, goes right in, stems like here's everything that's going on in there. I don't really listen to lyrics too tight. I was a bit. That's what I was saying about Busta Rhymes. I was a Busta Rhymes fan till I really listened to his lyrics. I thought you're talking rubbish. Do you get me? It was really
Not
bad.
always, but
All these albums. I bought all these albums. Level Extinction Event. But when you proper listen to what it was talking about, it was dead. Do you get me saying? Like, it was mad, bro. The world is gonna end in 1990. Well, he's moving mad. So my thing was kind of thing. Probably you might be right, but I don't know. Either way, it was just. I just loved his productions, the things, the layers of the tunes.
Flow
I
and
could
cadence
properly,
as well, like,
yeah.
because flow and cadence is important. Like, because cadence again is like that's like again vibration, you know, and tone. You know what I mean? And then the rhythm is rhythm because it's pulse. So it's like, you know, these frequencies, like they're gonna make you feel a certain way. Because I know like through tempo, rhythm, key. How I would make a transition from key. I'll go up a semitone or a tone. A lot of DJs don't think the way I think. You know what I mean? But I can lift the spirits in the room, or I can make it into more of a
mellow.
Yeah, I can bring it into more depth. You know, to create tension and release and
Because
excitement. And lift.
that's that. See, because we don't play for we do play for people, but we don't. In a sense, I always say I play for I play what I feel would work, and then I work off the room, and then I see where people's at, and then I'll start to. If I see you over there doing your thing, I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna work with your vibration, and that's why. But I've got to create the vibration first for myself before. So when people say you're paying for yourself, yes, I am, because at the moment, no one's. You get me? How am I gonna know what you want until I know the vibe you want? I know the vibe, but I've still got to create an energy for myself. So that sometimes I like to get there early. That's why I like to get there early sometimes and just get myself in emotion. And then I'll ask someone random like, what do you feel? What do you listen to? And then I'll just play off that. But then when people come up to me and say, "Oh, can you play a little Afro beats? Can you play some Afro beats?" I'm like, you're sitting down though. I can't work off your vibration. And I'm always a person that it makes more sense if you.
And not only just that, they want you to like. You could be playing, I don't know, just another type of.
You could be playing hip hop and they'll be like, "I'm on Afro beats now." No, it doesn't work that way. This is what I keep telling people. Stop thinking that I can just change it just like that. Flick of a switch.
It has to flow.
It has to flow and makes
Yo, people demand and they want like quick time things. That goes back to the sugar and everything. Like this is why. If people are going to ask me for requests, I'm going to get them to do push-ups in front of me. I said, "Do me 120 push-ups. I'll give you your tune."
Yeah, that is it. That is it. That's one thing, and I'm glad you brought that to the forefront, because as DJs, we do go into a trance, we do go into another world, we do want to work off energies. It's important. If we ain't getting the energy over there, we have to create our own energy. And that's where it gets, you may feel we're being selfish, but it's not. It's just that I have to protect my energy most of the time as well, because most of the tunes that I'm more demanding, what I have to play is like Calypso. I don't like playing soca. I don't like it, but I know it's uplifting. You get me? I know it has a good vibe. I know Afrobeats has got good frequencies as well. Happy music, which is good. There's some music don't have no frequencies. They're just horrible frequencies, which I get. But when I see you play, I'm like, yeah, you're at one with the music. Everything.
The thing is, though, I really love the music, and usually, like pretty much 100% of the time, I'm going to be playing a selection of tunes that I'm feeling, you know. So my energies from this jump is like, check this tune out, you know. And I think people are going to get that kind of vibe, even if it's a sit down vibe. You know, I'll start off with like that kind of like teasy foreplay type thing, you know. And as soon as people are going up, I'm starting to bring up the tempo, you know. And as soon as I got a dance floor moving, it's.
What? Who's your go-to artist though? Who's your go-to, like if you had to, let's give you a top 10 artists.
Top 10?
Yeah, let's.
10 artists?
Yeah,
okay.
Because it can't.
In what regard? Because
right across this UK to US.
My favorite singer, like personally, for me to listen to at home, would be like Sade.
Is it? Okay.
You know, and then male vocals probably Marvin Gaye. You know.
Ooh, okay.
But then
the movie's coming out soon. I hear the movie coming out.
Oh, is it?
See. I don't even know his whole life. I just like to check out the music and the vibes and that. You know.
Do you play R. Kelly?
No.
Okay, just checking.
I don't even play out fucking Bata.
But that's not because of the propaganda. That's you just not into R. Kelly.
No, it is. I don't know if I would call that propaganda. I'm not a fan of like pissing on little girls and that.
Straight.
Like, I don't want to. I don't want to promote them.
Before all this came out, would you have played R. Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, what Bump and Grind?
Like his music. It's just you just don't like the person behind.
I got a distaste for his music now because of what I associate to it. It's like
I deleted that whole thing.
Like asking me about Gary Glitter or something.
I'm
not my.
Oh gosh.
I can't even deal with it. Yeah, you know. See, you could have the conversation about Michael Jackson. I play Michael Jackson because I'm in a place where I don't know if I believe all the stories about him. You know what I mean? So.
And what he was trying to do. Like he get me taking over, so he was doing a lot. So you don't know, and he was always. They're always again. From when I watched, from when I broke down, just leave me alone, and you see all the bits and pieces on when he's going through on the roller coaster. You can see all the things they're trying to get at him, and but he was talking to us all the way through. Like you said, Whitney. You were talking about Whitney with Terry Walker yesterday, and the other day, and I didn't really listen to Whitney. I wasn't really listening, but she was talking to us through the tunes. I believe the children of the future. I was like, bro, I didn't clock. You get me? Michael Jackson was talking to us all the way through. None of us listened. When Paul McCartney was going after him and that, he was telling, look, he's coming for me. But no one clicked. Just shut up and dance, man. Shut up and dance, Michael. You get me? Like, Michael.
Entertain us.
Yeah, that's it. But we're not.
Pony.
But he didn't realise that he was actually, through his music, he was actually saying, like, help me here. Like, do you not see what's going on?
One thing I'll say, you have a very unique ear.
Yeah, appreciate that.
No, mad. All right,
do you know what it is though? Like, because from when I started, as I said, I was spinning for a b-boy crew, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hip hop, when I got into hip hop, wasn't just about rap. It's like it was more led by the DJ, you know. So
100%.
we were leading the trends in what the music sounds like, and that's doubling up the breaks and chopping shit up and putting drums underneath stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be like some Latin vibe, some soukous vibe, some funks, like a lot of heavy funk involved in the hip hop. Like James Brown, everyone knows like the backbone of a lot of the rhythm. You know what I mean? So, and it's a dance culture. Like I got into hip hop not as a rap thing, but as a dance culture.
And then you flopped, and then I had to put him on a DJ thing.
Yeah, but I mean DJing is still,
I know there's some videos, I know there's some BMX videos of him dancing. I'm gonna find it. You know BMX ones there. You get me?
You know what? This year is the 40th anniversary of the Belfast City Breakers. That's the name of the crew. Also known as
what are they called?
Well, it's the Belfast City Breakers.
City Breakers.
Yeah, it was also known as the Trouble-Minded crew because of the troubles. You know, so we were the Trouble-Minded crew.
Love that.
Yeah,
love
and the Belfast City Breakers are the same name, two names, same.
Do you still connect with?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary this
So
year.
you're linking up.
Yeah, in October. Yeah, but it's like 5th generation youth now. You know, because like the elders are older than me. You know what I mean? So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a whole new.
What were you gonna go over to?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go there and play, man.
We might have to go. We might have to go and take a little thing. The
You're welcome.
The last time I went there was for Mobb Deep concert.
Really, in Belfast?
Yeah,
mad.
It was crazy.
Mad.
It was different vibes. It was crazy. It was. I think it was one of the. Well, I'm a Mobb Deep fan anyway.
I brought a few hip hop artists to Belfast, like in my time.
Mad.
You know what I mean? I brought More Technique there a couple of times. You know?
Oh.
I've been there with my own group, Caxton Press, Logic and Amy, and everyone's come over there with me like enough times. You know, so.
Nah, that is. Yeah. That we might have to take a little trip there. And that. Yeah.
What I'm saying about the dance thing though is like because I'm playing for b-boy battles, it's like the funk breaks and the hip hop, but when you're in that dance community, that dance side of hip hop, you're not stuck in that kind of like rap centric idea. You know, like the dance scene is more open to like house music and so on. You know, and all types of footwork and that. You know what I mean? Okay. So when I'm playing music, I'm playing for a lot of different dance competitions. That's what's led me to like travel in so many different countries of the world. You know, I've traveled across Africa, across Asia, across Europe.
He's he's famous guy, fam. I told you this guy's about that life. I mean, he's out here and that, like.
But it's the experience.
What's the best place? What's your best memories of traveling? Like, what if you had to give one memory of traveling?
I'd say Uganda is one of my favorite places to spin and to hang out. Like vibes there is dope, you know. Because I'll be playing the b-boy scene in Uganda is bad. You know, and then also the reggae scene as well, because it's like a Nyabingi base, you know, so it's like real, like real Bun Babylon crowd, you know, it's like, it's real. But they're down with the Lovers Rock as well, so it's a fusion. You know, it's not just Milton, it's like Lovers as well. You know, Milton and Lovers fused. Yeah, and then also they got like a real good, just progressive. Electronic music scene as well, like, you know, it's one of the biggest electronic music festivals in the world.
Sitting there with Germany, like Germany the other day, they got a big, massive R&B base. Like,
but I knew Germany had
I didn't know nothing. I just thought they were just whatever.
That's what you go to Kenya. Kenya's got like a heavy metal scene and a techno scene. Like,
is it
massive? Yeah, metal scene in Kenya is mad. I know you'll be surprised.
No, I used to be a heavy metal. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, to get me. Happy Hardcore, let's do that, Gamma, that was the scene. That them times the drum and bass scene was. It was.
Lot,
wow.
It was South Africa and Zimba as well, like for the house, for the piano and the Bacardi and all that as well.
That's the way.
It's mad, you know.
Nah, that's the way. So you're saying Uganda was
Uganda because I spent the most time there. I DJ for a thing called Breakfast Jam East Africa Breakdance Championships, and the finals are in Uganda every year. You know, so the different qualifying rounds in the different countries up and down East Africa, and the finals in Uganda. Yo, it's dope. Logic and that came out to me with me the last time, and Amy, because Amy's half Irish, half Ugandan, you know. So yeah, there's a spot in Ginger, which is a part of Uganda. Yeah. It's the source of the Nile, and there's a club there on the river bank, called the Bourbon. Yeah, and we're doing a dance there. I call it the Source at the Source. Yeah. Source at the Source. It's dope.
Okay.
It's dope. You know, I was doing that. I was doing that every year up until lockdown. I haven't really traveled as much because I refused to play along. You know what I mean?
But we're open now. You can go
We're
out
open
there
again,
now.
yeah,
Open,
so
bro. And America's open as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, America. The jokers with their billions of pounds, they're gonna give us money back for, so people can get your money back. No, you can claim now, innit? Pfizer are gonna give money back. I swear.
What you got Pfizer in your system?
No, but I'm just saying I might just like that and say, look, I don't know.
Certificate.
Yeah, you don't know where's there. No, so you didn't go and get your jab and
You
that.
could say no, of course not. What?
Why not, bro?
Mate, I got taken off Facebook, my Instagram. I got all my socials taken off.
Of course,
because I talk about health.
Yeah.
I study health.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing I'm telling people is like, there's no magic bullet. It's the same thing I talk to people about herbs. You don't wait until like your whole body's falling apart and then come to ask me like what herbs are gonna help you with this.
Right, back to the
It's the same with the friggin' pill. There's no magic pill, and there's definitely no friggin' special injection. We're all different. There's no one glove fits all situation. Everyone's got to start thinking like,
so now
we're just gonna go to the doctor.
But
and
now,
this.
at that time, it was conquer and divide, innit? It was a madders. As a family, it was like that. We felt only the other day we felt like we're having a discussion in the house. Someone. We're already divided, innit? But then someone came in neutral from America and was in the house. So they're talking their experience. So they don't know that we've had a back and forth about it. Literally, they're like, people are like, nah, you need to go and get yours. Why aren't you doing it? And whole family just went and go and do it because I want to travel. There was all kind of stupid excuses. Anyway, so we're in the house and then no one spoke about it because now we know it's all a rubbish, innit? So we all know. But no one's speaking about it now. And this woman's come in and spoke about it. And we're in the house, we're like... And she's like, yeah, whoever done it is an idiot. And the people couldn't react back to it. And I was thinking, hold on, where's your mouth now? I mean, it was really bad. Now that we've come...
There's still an element of people like backing it online, but I don't know if it's all AI bots or what, like, because it doesn't seem... I don't know
since we've come out of it now, how has the response been now? Like, have you been, because they're all quiet now. People that took it are quiet.
I mean, this is why I'm moving forward with my health brand as well, because I think like people have probably been a little bit more awake and aware. Like you got to be responsible for your health, you know, like because even with that type of health scare, you should really take it seriously and go like, let me deal. How am I going to have a strong immune system? How am I going to be healthy in this world?
Against anything,
because we are being poisoned, like for real. Like people were really downplaying the dangers of the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is dehydrating. You know, you need to be a bit more hydrated in this environment now. You know, and that's also a stressor, you know. And then the diet and also just general stress and the air pollution and the water's crap and everything's mud. You know what I mean? So you need to... I always recommend people like get out of the city for a wee while, take breaks, breathe some fresh air. You know, like hydrate.
It doesn't cost nothing, to tell you the truth.
Nature.
Yeah.
Don't cost nothing.
It's kind of like why I'm pushing with the push-ups though as well, because like it's one thing that you can do, because just getting your lymphatic system, like if you think your lymphatic system is like your drainage system, your sewage, you know, you want that to move, you want to get that out. You don't want to just be letting junk build up in your body.
There was one point, I don't know if it was a fad or whatever, I can't remember what it's called, but your colon cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you know about all of that? Is that same as like the lymphatic system, or is that a complete...
No, I mean, if someone's got a backed up situation, like it's funny enough, I say this, the expression, I say colonization starts in the colon. Yeah, so you got to decolonize your colon for real.
No, 100%.
And that starts with that's your diet, because originally, like when you talk about colonialism, it started with diet. It started with exchanging goods. They were swapping like good textiles and foods from people and swapping it for like refined grains and sugar. And people were like within one generation falling apart. You know, and having behavioural disorders and all sorts of stuff. Like, so, and that's where they start to trap. They trap people with the sugar. You know, sugar plantations and all this stuff.
Just going in with the guns. It's literally. It was literally. Look, have sugar. Trust me, it's good for you. Give me all your textiles. That
was the beginning for real. They don't need the gun. They don't. Like, a lot of stuff that we get paranoid about, the New World Order shit, which is a real. You know, people are moving how they're moving, you know, like there's societal friggin' engineers, you know what I mean? But like they've already had us for generations and generations, like on like.
Is it? I always said to Shan, I've said it on the pod before, you know, like who are these people doing it? Who's orchestrating? There has to be one person in the room. Someone said it's a black man the other day. I was like, maybe not. But it has to be one person, because if it was me, all of us here now, 3 of us here, and we're just saying, all right, we're gonna depopularize, we're gonna do this, do that, we're gonna create this fake climate change. Did I say that? Oh, bad. And then all these kind of things. You've got a soft heart in it, so you're gonna be like, no, we can't really do this to people and that. So it couldn't be 3 of us. It couldn't be two of us because there's always going to be one that has to be one. Who are these people? Who do you think is running this, like doing all this?
You know when they say they, innit?
Yeah.
That breaks down to the hierarchy enslaving you. Yeah. So who is the hierarchy enslaving you?
Right,
you know?
go on.
Well, I mean, I say earlier, I bonfire on the Vatican. Yeah. The Vatican are a big player.
Yeah.
Big player, man.
You know what? I forgot about them. They go under the radar.
Vatican, a big player, man. Landlords, slumlords, warlords, you know, and they're a lot of other organizations are like proxy to them, you know what I mean? But then as well, who is the Vatican as well? What is the Jesuit order?
Yeah.
You know?
What's that made up of?
You know,
Devil.
and it's about like follow the money as well. Look at all these corporations. What's the military-industrial complex? What's the pharmaceutical industrial complex?
They're all full under one thing. Like it's mad. Like they're all lead.
Who's really running the media?
Mm.
You know, like so you can trace a lot of things back and see. You're gonna see some faces. You might not see faces behind the faces. You know, you can if you want to get deep on it. It might not even be faces behind those faces. It might be next entities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they tap into all sorts.
Exactly. And this is the thing, because you know, like the science that they're using and abusing really goes back to the origins of Masonry. You know, and it's not like the donut Freemasons that you have today. All these lodges. You know, because they're not real. They don't know what Masonry is. You know, because they're all having cookouts and they've all got like tummies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the first friggin' what do you call it? What do you call this thing you have? You wrap around your. What's that thing you have when you're cooking?
Apron and
an apron, yes, of course. Like so, the Masons, they all have like their apron thing in it, you know. But like when you're dealing with masonry, your stone masonry and that, you know, you're into architecture and building, you know. If you're dealing with electromagnetic material, you're talking about bone and flesh and bone and skull. That's why they're dealing with stuff. A lot of them, they don't really understand what they're dealing with. Like when you got to get it back into the true esoteric science to look at what's going on, you know. But the first apron is really your abdomen and these areas. You know, this is like your muscle complexes and that. You know, if you're not going to have a clean apron, like that's why these are all little just back rub clubs. You know what I mean? They're all just doing each other deals out in the next. You know, but there are people that have tapped into that original science, about being able to develop a physical body that is capable of developing a full-blown grown soul, so that your soul can truly ascend as some type of plasma being, you know, become a star.
Devils and that.
No, but check it, like the people that are really running game on us, they look at people as
pawns.
No, what's that word there? Is it a golem? You know, golem.
What from Lord of the Rings and that?
That type of thing, but a golem means like a soulless kind of like clay figure type thing, right?
Okay, so they can manipulate and use any way they wish.
Well, what they really want to do is to stop the development of a soul, you know, because the belief is that there's no karmic debt to be paid for being wicked to anything that hasn't developed a soul.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So they get saved.
Okay. So in the spiritual warfare, you know, the best way to defend yourself against these players is to stand on your square, 10 toes down. You know, like have your willpower. Lead with your will, lead with your spirit, because anyone, no matter what type of practice of religious philosophy you have, if you're working to develop your soul and applying your will and spirit, then you really are like building something that they can't fuck with. You know, that's why they rather have us in a place of stress and distress and anxiety and war and bad mind and all this type of stuff. Because the more you give into it, the more they can just they believe they can fuck with you. You know, so that's why it's important to be aware. Like you got to really like develop yourself. You know, and that was a massive test. The whole scandemic thing, because it was a big test of wills for people. So anyone who's come out of that with all that pressure, like you're more of a diamond than you were before. And they have less chance of being able to fuck with you in the next round as well.
Because I did feel like...
But you say it's coming back again? No, don't be silly, fam. That's it. It's done now.
It did feel like a compliance test. You know,
they're putting some things in place right now to make it more entrenched the next time around.
You know? They're not doing that. Listen, I can't even leave the world. It's everywhere, isn't it? Right. What was the question? What was the question that
Okay,
the
so
last.
a question
What
from
was the question
Terry.
If you could do anything again that you felt wasn't done the way the first time round, in the way that you wanted to do it, how would you do it again?
It's kind of crazy. You know what? I was thinking about a question to ask, and it was something very much along those lines. I must have heard it in the room.
Robbery.
Yeah, it's a mad one, like, because I like to try to move, like, say, like, no regrets, everything happens for a reason, all that type of thing. You know what I mean? Even though I kind of battle like back against that idea that everything happens for a reason, because I think like sometimes it seems like you're finding reason in anything that happens, because you know life moves like sat nav. Even when you go off direction, you know, when you go off direction and it'll just redirect you. And you think that's the reason. It's like no, it's just redirection.
It's true.
Correction. Using that one.
No, because sometimes 100%. We do try and justify how we found ourselves in a certain situation. Oh, it happens for a reason, but sometimes it's made a poor decision.
Yeah. So yeah, in that regard, maybe like. I don't know. Like,
it's bad.
I don't really. It's hard to say anything because you know everything leads you to where you're at, innit? You know, I mean, you learn from the mistakes. Because if I don't make a mistake,
there's some people that don't.
Maybe that's the thing I would say. I'd like to have been able to learn from my mistakes a little bit quicker and faster, you know, and have more confidence in my own self and try to stop. Shrinking myself as much, you know, because I'm always putting myself a little bit
down on that.
Like what they call that imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, I've been having that imposter syndrome pretty much all my life for one reason or another.
I think most people have at some point.
Nah, it's good then. Alright, so question for the next guest then, my brother. Come on now, not oh wow nothing. And this guy's, you see, I put down the paintbrush and the wallpaper in it. Guy's knowledgeable like no one's business. Probably could listen to him all day.
I guess, I mean, I would say like, what is it you're gonna do from this day forward to really, you know, how do I say, honor this gift of life that you've been given.
Wowzers.
That's powerful. Because the next guest.
Wowzers. Yeah. It's like they know each other, innit? Yeah. Nah, you would never know. They're from different walks of the world. You would never know, bro. I swear down. It's mad. Yeah. It's mad.
What are you going to do from this day forward? What are you going to do different from this day forward to
honour this gift of life that you've been given?
I should claps off his nostrils.
You know. The reason why I was thinking that as well is because I was having a conversation the other day. You know, we're getting into that meat veg argument. Everyone gets defensive of me because I'm a herbivore. You know, I mean, I'm like, do your thing. You know what I mean? Because like, what works for you works for you. I had a crisis of consciousness originally. That's why I went more the herbivore direction. But I've got to a point now where I'm having the same type of consciousness with the plants. You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's all sentient, and I've had so many deep meditations with the plants, plant medicine and vibes. I've been in. You know, like me and Natty, we went into the Amazon jungle for a month or so and had some very deep experiences. You know,
mushrooms.
No, it was Yopo. It was the next thing. It was the next thing. You know, we made a documentary about it, HipHopJourney. Yeah, it's called "Release the Fear." It's on Global Faction YouTube channel.
Okay. Swear. What would be next after cutting off?
No, it's not about cutting nothing off. No, that's the introspective thing of looking at it. The idea is like, because it's just acknowledging that something has sacrificed its life for you. So now you have a bit of a duty now in turn to like respect that sacrifice by doing something constructive with your life. You know what I'm saying?
Simple as that.
Yeah,
and if you're just to taking and not giving back, it's that emotional bank element that you.
Yeah. There's karmic debt involved. There's karmic debt involved. Like if something's gonna give its life for you, whether it's a plant or an animal, right? And then you got to do something with your life, you know, something of value.
It's true, you know. No, 100%. No, and that's powerful.
No, I love that.
No, and we all end up being. It's all a big cannibalistic situation anyway, because we all become fertilizer for the ever grow.
The insects.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just leave me in the preserve my body. Put it in like demolition man. You know that one day where you put it in the ice thing.
Drop me the pee.
You're gonna come back with Walt Disney on that.
Yeah, but what happened here? You get me? No, we have to do a part 2. You have to come on again, innit? No, the one that the fit. I'm on the press ups thing. I've been doing it. The family's dead. They don't want to do it. Like, it's mad. I was forcing everybody, bro. They knew.
I really encourage you just for the idea of being able to get high on your own supply. You know, because if you're going to be able to produce your own cannabinoids and your own opioids, you want to feel a bit more base level happiness. No, because honestly, like I had some situations in my life not too recently that would have put me into a spiral of depression ordinarily. You know, but because I've been kind of moving a bit differently, I've been able to handle things differently. So I know it's given me a bit of armor that I would really recommend the people who have been in similar situations. You know,
that's powerful advice right there. Like,
I told you it's a sports, but I told you.
No, do you remember how we met randomly?
Yeah, we went to the wrong place.
We went to the wrong. We were going Logic's event with
no, the nails were going to.
We went to the piano house where we met at Brixton House.
Yeah. Going to the wrong place. Don't listen.
No, that is where the sat-nav took us. That's why he ended up there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we got talking, realised we were going to the house. I said, do you want to jump in? Literally, and gave him a lift, and a little chit-chat.
Nah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. I can trust him. I'm a woman as well. It's amazing. You get me? I can trust him. But I didn't know he's Irish, so that's dangerous. You don't know.
I'm red as well, man.
You don't know. But nah, thanks for coming on, bro. Hey,
thanks for inviting me, man.
Yes, no, thank you for
we have to give a thing of appreciation. Nothing big, nothing massive, bro. Don't open it on the thing, though, because people just get hated, or you might hate on the next person.
You know I'm a book guy as well.
Yeah, but hopefully it's worth money so you can keep it and make some money from it, or whatever you want to do, kind of thing. Don't open it now, though, bro. Yeah. But you get home.
Everyone that tuned in, especially those that stayed to the
end. No, that was mad. That was mad. Bare gems and that.
Like more than gems. Like that was food. Like proper.
Tell them your socials and that so they can get hold of you. And obviously your name of your company. What's your name of your company in that business? You're gonna herbalist. Well, I'm a herbalist. Yeah.
As an artist, as a DJ, and as a DJ, like we didn't mention on it, but I work with Congo Natty Crew. I was DJ with Roots Maneuver for a long time. Part of the People's Army, Logic, Amy, everybody. I work with Shadia Mansour, and a DJ, I'll be turning up the dance on all sorts of vibration, from jungle. Some might be on some Brook, on some Afro beat. Some
come on, no, not Afro beats.
What I mean?
Not Afro beats.
I got that sweet spot with Afro beats, man. You'll like it when I get in there. Yeah. But anyway, my socials Instagram is DJ Snuff One, all spelt DJ SNUFFONE, and then a little kind of like hyphen thing at the bottom because they got rid of my last one.
So it's just there sitting in some cloud.
Yeah. And my nutrition brand that I'm coming out is Wild Type Nutrition. Wild Type, yeah.
Oh, Wild Type.
Yeah, Wild Type, yeah. Because Wild Type is a type of a cell. Like a wild type cell is a cell that exists in nature before it's gone in through any type of mutation. And a lot of the formulas that I'm putting together is to help people that are having mutations in their bodies get back to their original wild type. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm primarily like trying to work with cardiovascular issues and combat diabetes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Nah.
But I've got a cough suite as well that I'm going to be bringing out that I call Singers.
Oh, it helps you sing.
Yeah, they help everything to do with the voice, the swallowing and that, and helps healthy saliva, hydration of the mouth. Because I work with so many singers and MCs, and I tour with people, and they're all getting dry mouth. Yeah, so I've got some banging.
We might have to do an investment on that. Like, the ways there, like buy some shares and then take over. You get me? The ways there, like, and then get rid of him and all these things there. I'm gonna delete that bit. I'm gonna delete that guy. I'm gonna do that. But nah, big up everybody. Say the outro. Do the outro now.
Thank you. Peace and power.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Keep pressing.
Yeah,
that's it. But you did
peace and power and keep pressing.
But you're doing more. You're adding more to it.
There we go.
Keep pressing. Press up, push up.